The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Are entitled Inside Our Solar Energy Experience, the Benefits of the Catholic University of America Going Solar. My name is Tony Clifford, and I am your host today. I'm also CEO of Standard Solar, the solar developer and EPC contractor that has worked with Catholic since 2008 through the three phases of the solar build-out at the university. And just as Catholic University Solar Project has grown over the past 4 years, Standard Solar, during the same time period, has grown from a solar installer serving the Metro Washington, D.C. area into one of the leading solar contractors in the country. We are now doing business in 11 states and in Mexico and the Caribbean, and we have worked with a number of colleges and universities. While I will chime in a bit, the bulk of the presentation will be led by Mr. Vincent Ippolito, the Director of Facilities, Maintenance, and Operations at Catholic University. Now, before I turn the program over to Vince, I just want to notify all participants that you will be muted throughout the presentation. If you have a question for the Q&A session, please submit it in the question box on your GoToWebinar sidebar. Vince?
Tony, thank you. Hi, my name is Vince Ippolito. I'm the current Director for Facilities, Maintenance, and Operations. And let's talk about solar energy and power. Why did Catholic decide to go solar? We were looking at a number of processes, and we decided that solar was the way to go rather than wind. We wanted to be a leader in the industry to show other institutions that what we were willing to do in order to take, kind of leadership role in a sustainable energy source. Our main goal was we wanted to reduce our carbon footprint and just take charge of where we were going, demonstrate that we were responsible stewardship for our environment, and finding methods where we could minimize our environmental impact. Developing our energy management goals, we wanted to, again, look at renewable energy resources that were fairly straightforward, simple, not complicated, not have direct impact on how we were doing business. So we wanted to, again, minimize our dependency on depleting resources. In addition, we also wanted to provide a system where our students could benefit from it. We wanted to show our community, as well as students, that we wanted to be an environmentally responsible institution. So we ended up selecting solar power and going in that direction. We wanted to promote the industry and the technology, and also bring the spotlight and publicity to this type of system, as well as showing our peer institutions what the university is doing. Determining our goals, we wanted to make sure that we did our homework. Why do we select the partner that we did select? We wanted a partner that was knowledgeable in the industry, maintained and had excellent experience, and could help us, and also provide sort of a turnkey approach to doing type of system. So Standard Solar was such a partner, and it's been extremely successful, and we're very happy that we've partnered to provide a number of systems on our campus. We researched other institutions to look at see what they had used and how they've implemented. A number of other institutions implemented wind. But, as I said earlier, we selected solar because that was the easier of the two systems, but also the one that provided a much, I guess, approachable solution to what we wanted to do. Looking at the financial aspects, and then looking at all the risks and the visual character of the institution, and the educational enhancements. So those are the kinds of things that we wanted to see how we could benefit from it. The financial aspect was, okay, was there an outlay of dollars on our part? And we discovered that we could do this entire system without actually doing any type of capital outlay. The one turnkey approach, if we partner with a supplier, all of this could be done at no cost to the university. And Tony will discuss in a little bit the deal structure, how that can be, how that was done, and I believe that other institutions could benefit from such a thing. The visual character of the installation, we didn't want to create any type of impairment, so all the installations, as you'll see through some of the pictures, did not create enough of obstruction or detriment to the visual look of the university. So a lot of these installations are very low impact. We looked at a number of buildings, and most of the buildings that have these installations have flat roofs, so you really won't be able to see it from the street level. Now, obviously, from a higher level, you can see all the installations, but again, it didn't have any visual impairment to what we installed. The greater benefit, too, was an educational benefit, how we, the university, benefited from having such a system. We implemented a program both through the School of Architecture and the Engineering School where the students could actually be involved in such a system, and we'll discuss that in a little bit later. When we started doing the selection process, again, we generated a list of possible potential contractors, and we called the references to make sure that we were getting people that not only were they reputable, but our main goal was very knowledgeable, experienced, and they were a true partner to the process. In preparing the RFP, we again set up a criteria of all the items that we wanted, and it was pretty straightforward. We also solicited the assistance of other partners in generating this RFP. And at the end, Standard Solar was the selected contractor that we embarked in this program with. Now let's talk about the deal structure. I'm going to turn it over to Tony, and he'll talk about this.
Okay, now Vince said that one of the attractive things of solar was the fact that the university could do this with no upfront capital costs. And the way this is accomplished is through a power purchase agreement. Basically, the university, in this case Catholic, served as the host, and that means we put the system on their site. They had no capital or upfront costs. The system is actually owned by a third-party financing organization, and this is a for-profit company that is able to take advantage of the tax benefits associated with solar and also monetize the solar renewable energy credits that are generated by the system. So all that Catholic has to pay for is the electricity that is produced. And they get to use clean renewable power. And, you know, the power purchase agreement has the prices stated up front, so you know what you're going to be paying. And typically it is less than, I mean, almost in all cases, it's less than what you're getting from your utility. So it benefits the host, it benefits the university, it benefits the financial partner. Now, where does Standard Solar come in? Well, we benefit too. Standard Solar was the EPC provider. Now, Standard Solar, we describe ourselves as a solar developer and EPC contractor. EPC stands for Engineering, Procurement, and Construction. So basically, we provided a turnkey service to Catholic. We designed it, engineered it, installed it, and now we operate and maintain the system for Catholic University.
So how did Catholic benefit from this deal? Well, the first part is environmental, obviously. We took advantage of basically solar power, which is free, and we were able to, again, reduce our carbon footprint, which was most important. There were jobs created as a result of implementing this program. There are educational benefits as created as a result of this program. The School of Engineering and the School of Architecture both have implemented aspects of utilizing solar power in their current curriculum. So that's, I believe, is benefiting all of us in general, because now we're educating our students, and when they go forth, they'll be able to take that knowledge and education and apply it to whatever trade that they're hopefully achieving, and use some of that solar power system knowledge that they're gaining in their future jobs. We're currently doing an aggregate net metering of all of the buildings. The shot that you see right there, we'll present something later on that we're doing a streamlined view of what is being generated, and it's a live data stream. So if you look at the educational benefit that we've received, we've got a solar lab that's currently placed at the top of the engineering school. So the students are getting a hands-on live power generation, so to speak. They get to see the data, they get to see the systems that go into installing a solar power system. They get to see how the power is collected, transferred, and then sort of fed into the grid. We also have what is called a sort of picnic table that's installed next to our Student Union Center, where the students can sit and plug in their laptops or chargers for their phones, and all this is being generated through the solar panel. There's a solar bus station that, again, provides sort of the same benefits. One of the aspects I discussed earlier, the implementing into the current curriculum, both at the School of Architecture and School of Engineering, and how the students are benefiting from some of this. The other part is this summer, 3 schools have partnered together, American University, George Washington, and Catholic, to enter a house or solar house in the solar decathlon. 19 teams entered, and currently the team capital, which is what we're called, is leading the process. Now that's as of this morning. The house is called the Harvest House, and there's a picture there, as you can see. It utilizes a number of sustainable systems, both passive and solar. The next slide shows you a number of project summaries that we've done. Under phase 1, there were 3 phases that the university approached. The first phase took into 2 resident halls of another standard, just administrative / educational building, and then our athletic center. And we're generating about 292 kW of power. Under phase 2, we added a second array of solar panels on top of our Do4 athletic center, and we're generating 120 kW of power. In phase 3, we've added a third part and at the Do4 center, and then the grounds maintenance building, as well as another resident hall, and then under the third phase is when we installed the solar lab on top of our engineering building. So as you can see, the total, we're generating about 677 kW on the 3 sites, for a total year generation of 830 megawatts of power. The system production, this is a streamlined shot that is currently shown at our student center, and it's a live data feed. And here the students get to see how much power is being generated, and we're measuring all the environmental factors that may be affecting the power generation. The next phase, you can see here some pictures of our solar arrays. The Gibbons Hall is the resident hall. Aquinas is another building that's more of a administrative and educational. Flather Hall is a resident hall, and then you're seeing a picture of the grounds maintenance building. The other thing that we've done is we've taken a parking area and created sort of a lean-to approach where the top of all the, I guess the lean-tos have the solar arrays, and we're generating power through there.
Okay, I guess we can turn it over to questions and answers. We've got a couple of questions so far. The first one, Vince, I think you should take is, how did you grade your RFP criteria?
Well, we know our team gathered and developed a very detailed criteria that fully described what we were seeking in a solar partner. It was important for us to find a partner that was knowledgeable, experienced, and one that would partner with us and offer us the best option that matched our goals and our bottom line.
How did you accept responses to the RFP?
Well, the first stage was initiated in 2008 with another team here at the university. Since the solar was relatively new at this scale in 2008, the university identified leading partners in the region to prepare a proposal. And one of the first steps before going forward with the RFP was to have a campus survey for solar sites. This provided an on-campus with a good sense of project scale and solar capacity. It enabled us and allowed us to plan the team to identify buildings, ground space, and other parking areas for suitability. The campus managers, so to speak, are often surprised with the list of sites that are cleared that are solar ready. This step of identifying the proper location was a key position for the project to deliver the most savings potential. With our potential location identified, we began drafting our RFP.
Okay. Vince, here's one that maybe I should answer. I don't think you have much experience in this, at least I hope not. How do you make repairs to the panels on the roof? And there, I guess the good news is you really don't have to do much in the way of making repairs to the panels. They are warranted for, and typically for 25 years. They've been known to last a lot longer than that. And I don't think there have been any repairs to date. We have, an operating and maintenance agreement, so we do routine maintenance on the roof. But to my knowledge, we have not had any problems with any of the arrays at Catholic.
Well, again, this was a turnkey approach. Basically, when we have any type of concerns, we call Standard Solar. They come out and they look at the system, and then they do the maintenance. The only maintenance that we might do is we'll go around and looking at the roof just to make sure there aren't any issues. One of the first factors where we selected putting in these solar panels was that we had to look at buildings that had fairly newer roofs because we didn't want to go in and have to replace a roof after the solar panels were installed. So that was one of the first criteria that we had looked at, and that was a recommendation made to us that once the panels are in, we sort of don't want to do anything other than just do a survey of the roof structure and make sure that we weren't having any issues.
Okay, Vince, here's another one for you. What was the selection process, and why were Standard Solar and the PPA provider selected?
Well, Standard Solar was selected to develop our project because they offered a full package approach, a professional staff, lots of project experience, and they also had knowledge in the installation and could do and provide us with a turnkey approach. Standard Solar is also a local DC provider. They're nearby. That means we can call them up and we know that we'll get a quick response versus having somebody that's out of state. They also have, they're extremely knowledgeable with the DC area, the permitting process. That was a big plus for us because we didn't know when we embarked in this process whether there was going to be any type of permitting requirements, and if they were, how would we get through them. So they really partnered with us, and they really, really helped us. We also selected Washington Gas and Energy Services for the financial system. They provided the financing option that included the capital cost that covered both the design and installation. So, as I said earlier, CUA did not have any capital outlay.
And what has been the reaction from the local community? What sort of feedback have you gotten from the community?
Well, the students and the university, as well as the local community, have been very happy and ecstatic about our approach to provide an environmentally safe and showing that we are environmentally concerned with what's going on in this world, how we're trying to minimize the reliance on depleting resources. So it's been extremely positive. The greatest result is that both we've gotten our School of Architecture and Engineering to gain a lot of knowledge from the installation. It's providing a tool for learning not only the design but the installation, and it's helping us with this current design competition.
Well, if you're in first place, I guess it is helping.
Yes.
Something's helping.
I believe that the students have benefited tremendously from our experience.
What advice would you give to another university or organization that is starting the solar process?
Well, my recommendation would be that they do their research, develop criteria that best suits their organization or institution, and complies with their needs in the best way. Finding a trusted partner to both finance and develop your solar project is essential to fully develop your vision into reality.
Yeah. I think I'll add a little bit to that, Vince. I'd recommend that schools should connect with other colleges or universities that have installed solar and review their RFP templates. I don't think you have to reinvent the wheel here. There are a lot of schools that have now done requests for proposals for solar, and you could discuss, experience with, how do you successfully select the best solar provider for you. And also just take a look at who are the leaders in the solar industry, because you want to work with somebody who's knowledgeable and experienced and can be trusted to handle your project. And, I think it's important to develop a trusted partnership with a full-service solar developer. Certainly Standard Solar would help you, but there are, truth, there are some other folks around that could do a good job too. Okay, here's one I guess I should answer too. Who benefits from the SREC credits? Now, an SREC is a solar renewable energy credit. Basically, it's a state incentive, and it varies from state to state, but it's a credit for the amount of renewable power that you're generating. And typically, one SREC is 1 megawatt hour of electricity produced. And this is a tradable commodity. Right now in D.C., they're selling for upwards of $375 to $400 an SREC. So if you generate a lot of SRECs, that is an attractive income stream for the third-party provider. That is one of the real incentives for them to get involved in this. So that's that's the way it works. It's basically the half of the win-win structure of the PPA agreement, because the PPA provider, they get the income stream from the cost of power from the school, and they get the SREC benefits, and the host gets clean power at a fixed rate.
Now, our overall experience with the solar system, has been extremely positive. We've saved money in the power generation, but that wasn't our primary driving factor why we wanted to go solar. We wanted to, one, reduce our carbon footprint and be an active partner in saving resources. We wanted to minimize our depleting resource use and do our share to help protect the environment. We wanted to show our industry that there are programs that can be implemented without adversely impacting an institution operational guideline. So implementing such a system shows that Catholic cares about protecting our environment and provides us with a progressive approach to addressing our energy needs and concerns.
Okay, great. Vince, that's the last question that we have. I guess if there's nothing else, I would want to say thank you. And the slides you're looking at now, if you have any questions that you want to direct to Vince, Vince's contact information is up there. And if you want to contact Standard Solar, our information is up there as well. If you want to do it by email, you send it to info@Standard Solar, and that will get to the right person. If you call our main number, you can ask for the right person, or you can ask for me, and I'll get you to the right person. I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I hope you seriously consider a solar project for your organization. Thank you.
Thank you.